Hey folks, Dude here, coming at you of all things Thursday, June 30th. And I believe that's going to be the last day of the month. Yes, it is one of them 30-day months. So, bye-bye June. Hello July and 4th of July and vacation stuff and all the rest of the good stuff like that there. But today's video is going to be me relating to you, not exactly a life-changing event, but kind of one of those things I've just kind of started doing as a fundraising, hobby money, vacation money, potentially buying a new vehicle kind of money job. Well, I just started doing Uber, of all things. And, Mrs. Dude and I were kind of knocking heads about time to do such. And, of course, I have like daytime stuff that I'm really kind of not going to get into. It's really, really behind the curtain type things. But some stuff that, I'm locked in and I got to do during the daytime. I mean, I am boom, on like Donkey Kong, that is immutable. I gotta be available for the timeline of X to X to do those things that I need to do until such time that she can take over and potentially be the person that has to facilitate and do the things that need to get done. That's really behind the scenes, okay? Anybody that knows what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about. Those people who don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. It's something immutable. I gotta do it. There's no way around it. It's just something I gotta do. So literally last night, I fired up the Uber for the first time, verified and validated everything. The Dude Mobile's completely legit, cleaned up, ready to go for passengers, what have you, and proceeded to start picking up people. So guy number one, cool guy, talking, he's this, that, and the other thing. Person number two, blonde, cute, drunk, forgot something, had to go back and pick it up from the previous place where I picked her up at. Took her back to the new location. I knew where she was going. She was going to a local hotel that was downtown in the Inner Harbor area. And if you know Baltimore, you know exactly what I'm speaking of. And so pretty much there's like a good group of hotels in one side of town. There's another group of hotels that are kind of waterfront. Then there's some that are kind of more like about 7, 8, 9 blocks up from the actual waterfront itself. So dude number three was I think a female or somebody. Actually what it is you're driving around, you have your smartphone standing by, and it's just giving you kind of like a map readout of where you are. Every once in a while you can actually do a check-in thing, and it updates. Usually what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to update as you're driving around. But you can do like the little icon for updates and say, hey, I'm here, I'm over here now. And what I did was I literally kept myself in one part of town, and I wanted to get down center of town, like Bar Town, good concentration of people with cash, and I wanted to basically do it in such a way that I know it's going to be an active area. I want to be down near the bars. I want to be down by the casinos. I want to be down by those things that's going to be active, and never fails. So literally, I did get another run, ran me out up north. And that kind of put me into a deadhead situation, but it was a good run. I mean, pretty much what it was. It tied me up for not quite about an hour or so, but it was a $20 and change run. That helps. I mean, that was definitely something that fattens the bottom line. So I did that, got turned around, shot back down 95, and got back into the city. And the route that I take that gets me into the city, I am driving down a corridor, and I miss all the Easy Pass, read like toll gates and what have yous. And what I'm doing is I'm driving this one road. It's called Boston Street, and it takes you through a kind of well-to-do area, which then takes you back to the Inner Harbor, Fells Point, all those other places. If you guys look these things up on the maps, you know what I'm talking about. I'm literally going on from the east side of the city, and I'm going back towards the center of the city. So I'm actually near and around the stadiums in the Inner Harbor area. Bar Town, there's Little Italy, there's Fells Point, there's the Inner Harbor, there's lots of hotels, there's lots of bars, the casino, the sports stadiums, all those things are in this corridor that I'm driving around. And simply because I know the area, I know where I'm going to get to the central nexus of, a lot of yuppie areas, and I know what I'm looking for to get back to that general vicinity of Cashville. So then I get another run, and I'm kind of looking at it going, oh, this isn't good. And it ran me up to an area, that's right, it ran me up to the area where all the riots were happening. Yeah, Mondawmin Mall. Not exactly happy about it. Picked up a couple girls, dropped them off at their location, which was a little ways away, it's a couple bucks there. And the cool thing about it is as I was driving around, it said, hey, you have a second run. You want to tack this one on there? So you can say, yeah. And so far where I'm at, I will not turn down a run. I want run after run after run after run. You can refuse a run if it's in an area, or if you're just like, nah, I'm not feeling it. Boom, you can bump it off, or you can accept. Well, at this point in time, I'm accepting. I'm accepting everything. And everybody that I'm dealing with, unless they're a little sketchy, they're getting 5 stars as a customer. End off the route. Next run basically lines up. And I knew that there was going to be a lull, from about 1-ish in the morning to about like 2-ish in the morning, there's going to be a lull. Not a lot of people coming out of the bars. Everybody basically wants to tank in his last couple drinks before the bartender says, last call for alcohol, get your asses out of here. So anyway, around about 2-ish or so, got one run, turned it right around to another run. And the cool part about it is this last guy ran me out to the east side of town, yet again, back to that same corridor on Boston Street. So literally, I made that my last run. Boom, off service. You hit the little button on the top. You come on service, you come off service by hitting the little buttons. All these apps for Uber have been designed by millennials. Why? Because it plays like a video game. If you've ever played the game Driver, if you've ever played Gran Turismo, if you've ever played, San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto, where you're basically following the map and try to do the execution and the task and the what it is to earn your credit, it plays exactly like that. Except you basically have a person in the back seat behind you, and you're driving from point A to point B, and it's navigating for you by Google Maps. An idiot monkey could do this job, okay? It is not rocket science. Me knowing the area that I know, I'm pretty much looking at the Google Maps on my phone as it's telling me place here, place there, left turn, right turn, couple more distance for this, tenth of a mile for that, turn to this, turn to that. And the other thing too is also in my cubby hole on my CRV, I have my backup, my own GPS that's giving me a read, and if something gets sketchy, I can basically punch it in. Like the one time, the one guy was like, okay, well, I'm trying to get to the Burger King on Fleet Street. And I'm like, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the street address. And he's like, well, let me tell you. It's like, dude, I live in the city, okay? I know, or I've lived, I didn't say it as past tense, that I live in the city. I know it, okay? So I punched it up real quick, also using my same smartphone, ask Google, hey, Google, Burger King, Eastern Boulevard, and boom, popped right up, got the street address, 2133 or 2033 Eastern, punched it in, bing, 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 and the nice thing is the Google Maps is pretty much set up as such that you really don't have to punch in zip codes. It actually is like, oh, okay, that street in this part of town, yeah, click, that's where we're going to, because some people didn't know where they were going, or they didn't say where they were going, they just said, bink, I want to ride. So in some occasions, it doesn't autocomplete as the location where you're going from and to. You have to input destination. Ding, 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 click. And then, of course, start trip. There's like a little banner on the bottom. You swipe off. Start trip. And it gives you like projected timeline, gives you projected distance. And pretty much the way I have my phone oriented, it is off on the right side of the central pod, which basically is like on my CRV, it is the radio. Underneath that is a cubby hole, and underneath that is all the HVAC stuff. So literally, it is right there in front of me, kind of cocked off, a little bit off angle, because I don't want that thing glaring at me when I'm driving, but I want to be able to like glance at it as I'm driving and get like updates and what have you. And the cool part about it is it's set up in such a way that the customer can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Now, the drunk blonde chick kind of tried to give me directions, and I kind of did my own thing, and because I knew that there was like a little bit more of a direct route than the way that she was suggesting. But it's neither here nor there. It's 2 blocks, 1 block apart. No biggie. So anyway, the length of the breath, I can tell you from my own personal experience. Uber works. Need to make more money doing it. Need to stash some money doing it. Of course, potentially, I don't want to wear out my CRV doing this, so I want to get a beatermobile, read like something newer as a beatermobile. That's going to be the daily driver to do all the fun stuff with Uber and not wear out my stuff. So case in point, that's where I'm at right now. So day 1 on an Uber, and by and large, it was painless. Did it for a number of time, and basically knocked off fairly late at night when pretty much everything was tailing off anyway. Got that last run to run me out to my side of town, and I was happy. All right, folks, I'm going to break off on this one. No, Uber does work, and you can make extra money. Haven't done Lyft yet, but we'll see how Uber works, because Lyft actually allows people to tip you. Yeah, so that might be another one I'm thinking about, simply because, well, I might make more money doing that with my sparkling personality. Well, at least I can hope for it. If I look like Brad Pitt, I'd probably make a hell of a lot more. All right, folks, I'm going to break up with this one. EQ keeps it ringing as always, and you love it. And, oh, man, got to get some money in the house. We're not broke, but I want more money. I want more money. I want money to play with. See you guys.